I want to tell you some interesting things about Fran. First of all, anybody who's met her would know that she's among the most bubbly and energetic people you've ever met. Also, she's an actress. Also, she's a yogi. And also, she's one of the best entrepreneurs I've seen in this class. Without further ado, the CEO of hOM, Francesca Loftus.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming. I'm actually going to steal a joke from Clelia from MIPIM. She said that the only morning tech event that exists is in real estate tech. So thank you all for coming out in the morning. It is early, so I think what I want to talk about today is going to be even more surprising. I'd like to talk to you guys this morning about the C word. Yes, the C word. You are thinking of the right word. If you are thinking of convenience, is exactly what I meant, and I know that's what you all were thinking. We want what we want where we already are, right? If you're thinking about something that you want right now, you want it right here, where you already are. We spend 86% of our life in either our home or our office, and that's a ton of time. And the providers of these spaces understand how valuable it is to give us convenience. And they do that by providing us with amenities, like in-building laundry, storage, gyms, and by doing so, they can raise rent by 5%. That is a huge increase in revenue. Why doesn't every building have amenities? Well, first you've got to find a bunch of space. Then you've got to make sure that you know what everybody wants. Then you've got to change your certificate of occupancy, put people through months of loud construction, market it so that everybody knows you even have it, and even when these 5 things are done, you have the work of giving it a facelift every couple years, making sure that it stays relevant. And that's a nightmare. So we created hOM, amenities for everybody. Our technology takes the work of marketing, designing, and updating your amenities and gives that work to your tenants. So there's absolutely no dedicated space, absolutely no legal fees, and no loud, annoying construction for your tenants. Without us, you either spend nothing and get nothing. You keep the amenities in-house, the management of the amenities in-house, and you have your property manager planning your Pilates class, not exactly core competency, or you spend a ton of money, about $30,000 a month for an amenity manager. And even at that expensive end of the spectrum, you have no access, no technology that tells you what people want in your buildings in real time. We have the technology. This is hOM. hOM is Eventbrite, GoFundMe, and Seamless, all in one app and designed for tenants in buildings. Here, you can get direct access to everything going on in your building and RSVP for it. You can propose what you'd like to have in your building and upvote other people's ideas, including your management company's proposals, because it's where you live and where you work. You want to be part of the decision making, and your building wants you to be part of the decision making. So they're spending money on things that they know you want. And here, what time is it? Like 10:30? If you logged on right now, you could book a massage for 4:30, day of. This is not a concierge desk. You're not putting in a request and checking back to see if it's been confirmed and if someone's going to meet you today at 4:30. This is direct access to service providers' calendars. We look at your calendar, we look at the service provider's calendar, we tell you when you're both available together, and you can insert an event into their live real-time calendar. Now, hOM has proven to be twice as effective, engage twice the number of tenants as an amenity manager. And that is precisely because it is a real-time conversation between you and your management company. But it's more than that. It's a conversation between your management company and you. hOM is live reporting for landlords on their amenities. And that's really important data, because amenities are more than just 5% rent increase. It's increased retention, and it costs $4,000 to turn over an apartment unit. So it's decreased turnover costs. But most importantly, it's creating a brand for your building. a brand that gets you word of mouth marketing. Because your building is the building where your tenants get more than just 4 walls for their rent. Your building is the building that cares about its tenants and their well-being. And your building is the building that gives them the ultimate conveniences, where they work and where they live. This is basically the apartment building that I live in. It's a 5-story walk-up, let's say in Brooklyn to keep it realistic. And here you'd imagine that you wouldn't be able to amenitize this building. Maybe it's pre-war and it seems like there's not a lot of space. But our technology allows us to work in the most unexpected places. There is an unfinished rooftop. There is an empty apartment unit. There is a basement, a lobby, and a beautiful neighborhood. And our technology allows us to work here in a 10-building commercial complex, in a building just like this, a Kushner building that was recently built in 2014 in Jersey City. It's 300 units. It's all 30s young professionals and couples. And it has an entire floor of amenities. It's a resort, a gigantic pool, a playroom for kids, everything. But they're often empty. So all that money is going to nothing, really. It's going to getting people in the doors, but not keeping them. So Kushner asked us to come on board to increase retention. Now they pay about $1,800 a month, and 93% of the people that live in the building have either RSVP'd for or attended one of our events. When surveyed, 33% of those people said that home was what kept them in their building last year, kept them re-signing their lease. When you think about $4,000 being the cost to turn over a unit, that's more than $30,000 a month in savings, a month, just in this one building in their portfolio. Now you're thinking that's amazing, but nobody's kids come up to them and say, I want to be an amenity manager when I grow up. It's not a really common phrase, so it must not be a really small market. But it's not. It's marketing. And $75 billion just in the US per year is set aside for marketing budgets for commercial and residential buildings. And already $3 billion of that is being spent inefficiently on exactly what we do in building programming. This is our executive team. We all have very diverse pedigrees. I'm Francesca. I brought the largest tech startup network from Europe to North America. Anthony is an artificial intelligence expert. Ryan is a serial entrepreneur right here in the front. And Corey, somewhere in the middle, is a Lululemon ambassador. But that's just the executive team. At home, we're doing for service providers what Starbucks did for baristas. We're providing full-time careers with benefits, ownership in the company, and continued education. We're creating a culture of loyalty and reliability in an industry where independent contractors are king. And that's why in 25 months, we've onboarded more New York properties than the leading amenity manager has in 25 years. Why year over year, we see our revenue more than double. It only takes us 3 renewals in a building to give you return on investment in the year, less than 1 a quarter. But we see so much more than that. Amongst our users, we see retention rates 15 points above the national average. What does all of this mean? It means that these guys are our clients. During MetaProp alone, we've more than doubled the number of properties that we work in and brought on huge players like Brookfield in commercial and Avalon Bay in residential. I've got one last ask for you guys. Please think of me as a big fat liar. Don't believe anything I just said. A lot of our clients are here in the audience, and I'd love for you to find them after and ask them why they onboarded home. Thanks so much, guys.